So after you've eaten a few of these recipes that you see on this channel, you're gonna need some dessert, something sweet for you, before the nap. So in this video, I'm gonna show you 5 of my favorite desserts. The last one is gonna be fantastic and quick to make too. So let's get started on the first one. This recipe makes about a dozen almond biscotti. You're gonna need 1 cup of all-purpose flour, 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, a pinch of salt, 2 tablespoons of softened butter, 1 cup of sugar, I'm using coconut palm sugar, 1/2 tablespoon of olive oil, 1 large room temperature egg slightly beaten, a dash of vanilla. I like to add some Italian liqueur. I'm using 1 ounce of liqueur di strega from Benevento, Italy. But you can use amaretto or any other sweet liqueur you like, or none at all. About 1/4 cup of almonds chopped, and another 1/4 cup of chocolate coconut covered almonds, also chopped. Get it all into a large bowl and give it a good mix. This will be a wet batter. So I placed it on some plastic wrap to make it easier, and then I rolled it and flattened it out to about a 1/2 inch thickness. And shaped it like this. Wrapped it up and placed it in the refrigerator for about 1 hour or until it sets slightly. When it comes out of the refrigerator, I get it onto a silicone sheet or parchment paper on a baking sheet. Preheat your oven at 350 degrees and bake it for 20 minutes. When it comes out, it should be slightly golden around the edges. Using a serrated bread knife, slice them in a slight angle, being careful because they can break on you, but that's okay. Those will be my sample pieces for later. Flatten them out and get them back into the oven at 325 degrees for another 10 to 12 minutes, flipping them and cooking them for about 10 more minutes or until they're golden. They go great with a fresh brewed cup of espresso. My next favorite dessert are these chocolate almond macaroons. For these delicious delights, I use 1 14-ounce can of sweetened condensed milk, 10 ounces of sweet or unsweetened coconut flakes, the egg whites of 2 eggs, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 12 ounces of semi-sweet or bittersweet chocolate, 12 ounces of white chocolate, and about 25 to 30 almonds. In a bowl, I mix together the coconut flakes with a can of condensed milk, a teaspoon of the vanilla extract, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and then mix it until all the ingredients are well combined. Then, in a separate bowl, I beat the 2 egg whites until I get stiff peaks. They should look something like this. Now gently fold the fluffy egg whites into the coconut mixture until it's all incorporated. To make the cookies, you can use a tablespoon or a small ice cream scoop to form balls that are about 1.5 inches in diameter. Place them about 2 inches apart on the baking tray lined with parchment paper, or you can also use silicone baking sheets. Place 1 almond in the center of each cookie and press it down. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees and bake the cookies for about 15 minutes until the tops are golden. For air fryers, reduce the temperature to 325 and only bake for 12 minutes. Melt the chocolate in the microwave in 30-second intervals until smooth. Dip or roll each cookie in the melted chocolate. Then chill them in the microwave for about 15 minutes until the chocolate hardens. Now you can totally indulge in these white chocolate and dark chocolate macaroons. Enjoy. For all you chocolate lovers out there, here's my version of a molten chocolate lava cake, which I made using my air fryer. This recipe takes just a few ingredients and a short cooking time. Add all the dry ingredients, the flour, powdered sugar, espresso coffee, into a large bowl and mix to incorporate all the ingredients. Melt the unsalted butter along with the baker's chocolate together in a microwave. It only takes about 30 to 45 seconds. This last piece of chocolate I put aside for the molten center. When the chocolate and butter are melted, give it a mix and pour it into the dry ingredients. Next, add in the vanilla and mix it together. Add in 1 egg and 1 extra egg yolk and mix it until it's silky smooth, like this. Now just pour the chocolate mixture in each ramekin, only fill about 3/4 of the way up, and give the ramekins a couple of light taps to allow any air bubbles to escape. Place that last piece of baker's chocolate in the center of the batter and make sure it's fully submerged. The second one I decided to add in some white chocolate chips. Again, just making sure they're fully submerged in the center of the batter. Then I place them on a cooking rack and into the air fryer. Let them bake at 340 degrees for about 10 minutes. Allow them to cool for 5 minutes before removing the cakes from the ramekins. In a conventional oven, you want to preheat to 375 and bake for 10 to 12 minutes. To help release the cake if it gets stuck, you can use the edge of a small knife to gently cut around the edges. Or you can add some parchment paper to the ramekins before you add the batter. I added some powdered sugar and a large Hershey chocolate kiss to the top before diving in to enjoy it. For this next dessert, I'm making one of my favorite holiday cookies, coconut pecan snowball cookies. In a large bowl, you're going to need 2 cups of all-purpose flour plus 2 additional tablespoons. 1 cup of pecans chopped, and you can also use almonds for this recipe. They don't have to be chopped too fine. I like the texture and crunch of the different sizes within the cookie. Add them into the bowl of flour. Using this bench scraper makes it a lot easier. Just a pinch of salt. Next, add in 1 cup of powdered sugar, 1/4 cup of sweetened coconut flakes, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and of course, some Malibu coconut liqueur. About 1/2 tablespoon, maybe a little more, and 1/4 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. Finally, add in 2 sticks of room temperature unsalted butter. This recipe makes about 24 cookies. We find that mixing it by hand is quicker and it's easier to tell when all the ingredients are well mixed. This is the texture you're looking for. Now grab a tablespoon-sized scoop and make round cookie balls. Roll them out until they're smooth on the outside and lay them on a cookie sheet lined with parchment paper. I'm using silicone cookie sheets instead of parchment paper here to keep them from sticking. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees and bake for about 15 minutes, just until the outside starts to get a nice golden color. When they come out, allow them to cool for about 5 minutes. While they're still warm, coat them in some powdered sugar and place them back on the rack to cool completely. When they finally finish cooling, give them a second coat of powdered sugar. I placed them in cookie tins and gave them away as gifts. Although I had some stragglers, there's always a few left over. I try to sneak a taste without her noticing, for quality control.
Hey, what are you doing?
Well, this dessert is real quick, real easy. Only need 3 ingredients. Some cold espresso coffee, which I made earlier, stuck in the freezer, got it nice and cold. Some powdered sugar and some whipping cream. You want to make sure the whipping cream and the coffee is cold. I've got 1 cup of the espresso in here. I'm going to add a couple of spoonfuls of powdered sugar. Let's add 1 more because powdered sugar is not that sweet. Then I'm going to pour that into my shaker cup here. Put that in. And I'm taking some whipping cream. This is the heavy whipping cream. And we're going to fill it about halfway or a little more. It should be all right. So you want to leave some space for the foam to foam up, for the cream to get made. And all you have to do now is shake it until you make it. Or you can just use a whisk or a blender. Okay, and it looks like this after about 30 seconds of shaking or whipping. Check that out. Let's grab a spoon. Look at that, huh? All right, so I'm just gonna get this into a cup here. See how thick it comes out? Look at that, huh? Oh, it's like ice cream. Gonna get a little whipped cream on there. Some white chocolate from Lindt. Little dark chocolate for color. And a cookie. All right, let's give this a taste. That's good. You guys got to give this a shot. One little tip I want to add here. If you're going to use a blender, about 30 seconds is what you need. Anything more than that, you're going to start seeing it separate and come together, and you'll make butter. Then you'll have butter coffee. Not that it's a bad thing, but just a little tip. If you enjoyed the video, give me some thumbs up, some likes, comment down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.